Here we go. Hello and welcome to lunch at the Roundtable today, Counseling Solutions. We have the latest edition here, Ms. Chaz Miles.
Hello.
And of course we have Ms. Debbie Mabry.
Good morning.
And I'm Lynette. Hello. And we're going to introduce Ms. Chaz today. Hello, Ms. Chaz.
Hello.
Welcome to our facility.
Thank you so much.
And so who are you and where do you come from and what do you do?
Who am I? My name is Shazia Miles, but you can call me Chaz. I am an LPC intern here at Counseling Solutions. This is my second week. And I'm coming from South Carolina, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I'm an active duty military spouse and a veteran. And I'm coming from South Carolina.
And what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I'm accumulating internship hours for licensure and wanting to make an impact on the community here in the Killeen area.
What population are you looking to work with?
The population that I'm looking to work with that I'm most fond of are children and adolescents, preferably those with disabilities and behavioral issues. I'm also a mother of 2 children with disabilities, and I am prone to that community. And I also want to work with adults that are transitioning through bariatric surgery and health conditions.
So what do you feel has not been done with these specific populations that you could bring to the table?
Specifically with children and adolescents with disabilities, I feel like they haven't received an opportunity for psychotherapy. So many times parents are anxious for them to have academic assistance, speech assistance, anything dealing with their impairment instead of with their emotions and their psyche. So I am anxious to cover that base with them as they transition through life to have the best possible life. And the bariatric community, I am also a bariatric patient myself. And I know for screening, they're often seen for psychiatric evaluation by a psychologist, but they aren't seen for psychotherapy as well. So I'm anxious for that community to figure out how they got to this point and what are they going to do moving forward to be able to stay on track and benefit from the surgery best.
You mentioned the emotional behavioral aspect of the population with special needs. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that to help people? Because I do work with special needs adults and I know how important it is, but we need to have the audience know too.
Some of the aspects can be overwhelming, not only for the child, but for the parent. And that cohesion, a lot that I've learned in a very short time that I'm here from Debbie, is systemic. So to be able to tie all that together and develop a plan and goals for not only the child, but the parents and the family as a unit will help the child in effectively getting what they need from their academic services, from their speech services, and from their social aspect in life. So once they have that tied together with psychotherapy, they're able to address their behaviors with all those entities out there together.
Which also helps with communication with family members to understand their language by way of emotion and behaviors.
Yes.
That for most on the outside looking in, the miscues would throw everyone else off, but there's still something going on there, and people they really don't know how to interact or make that exchange based off of their language, because everybody has a language.
Everybody has a language. It's especially with the autistic community, it's been told to me by others when I've gone to certain certification and training programs that if you've met one person with autism, congratulations, you've just met one person with autism. They're all different. Every situation, every family structure, every emotion is different, and the way they interact with it is different. So it's we are there to aid that family in that transition through life, and it is a lifelong journey.
Sure it is. I would think personality is a huge entity here because everyone has personality. And a child or an individual with autism is no different in that regard.
Yes.
Sometimes some of the bigger personalities, I would think.
Yes, they're very, very blunt and very straightforward, and what they see is at face value is what they see at face value. While we're looking deeper into a person and their personalities, just what they see is what they see, and that's how they're going to react to it. So it's
The literal interpretation. I never quite get used to that. My son, he has mild autism, but he is so literal. And, life is full of metaphors. And let one of those kids, adults, come up to a metaphor. And, Tyler will look at you just as intently. There are no cats and dogs outside, Mom. It's only rain.
Yes. And there are no filters either with that population.
That's true.
There are no filters.
So many stories come to mind about Dayzona.
Yes.
teaching a specific group of adults a couple of years ago how to make, what did they call it? It was some kind of general conversation. It was right before Thanksgiving, and part of the lessons were how to have some etiquette for Thanksgiving. And I remember I got to come for a lunch, and I was the guest. And there were a couple of other guests at one of these large tables. And one particular young lady at the table told us all that we did not need to go by the bathroom. And she explained why.
Yes.
And she was starting table conversation. And so someone else tried to get her off of that topic. And it was a good 10 minutes later, she interjected again about having broccoli last night.
Because there's no such thing as polite conversation.
And we were supposed to be making small talk. And she was so proud of herself because she had initiated a conversation topic. She had maintained it through 10 minutes of diversion. And she was just as pleased as she could be. And after she finished, another topic came up. That was one of the sweetest things, because however inappropriate it was for us, it was not for her.
Huge milestone.
It was.
It's the engagement.
She actually did it, and for her to hold it for that long,
Yes.
that was awesome. She found something that made her comfortable to address. That would be addressed later what the topic was, but she was able to engage, and that should be rewarded. That was
Well, she got a lot of positive feedback from it. No one became upset or anything. It was just very gently melded elsewhere. But that's what you're talking about, isn't it? No filter.
No, there is none. There is none. There's several in the community as they develop and they get older. For young children, it's more the elements of the sound and touch, but as they get older, holding the conversation and the social cues and and etiquette become more and more important to them. And when they don't know how to differentiate appropriate from inappropriate, they'll still be so proud at the fact that they initiated what you told them to. My son the other day, he held a conversation with a lady in the store and asked her if she was a grandmother, because he associates someone who's older in face because he's learning household structure. The grandmother, grandfather, mother, father. He's continuing to identify all that he believes is a grandmother to the older community, but they definitely haven't reached the grandmother stage yet. So.
It's okay. He's looking for those signs. One of the other situations at Dayzona, Dayzona has had, I'm like this big supporter of Dayzona, so I feel like, because my baby goes there, I'm a part, because they tell us all that everybody's part of Dayzona if your kids go there. So I buy into that. One of the first young men who came in over there was nonverbal. And up to this date, I believe there have been 3 nonverbal individuals when they came there, nonverbal, verbal when left, or they're still there. still verbal. So I see what an environment, that correct environment that you're talking about, the difference it makes in this individual's life to go from a nonverbal communicator to verbalizing. That just blows me out of the water.
And everybody has an aspect and a way of communicating, even if it's not verbalizing your needs and wants. There are ways to say that you're thirsty or that you want more, that you're hungry and what you're feeling, and to be able to communicate that through psychotherapy and then initiate that out to the public is a large milestone, and that's something that I'm hoping to bring to Counseling Solutions as well.
I love the idea of psychotherapy teaching the skills. That's different. Most of us who do psychotherapy, we do it to get to the root of the childhood, to look at the childhood triggers, the childhood stimuli. But you're looking at taking these kids, these adults, from here, from where they are now, to generalizing the skills, to open them up to having more reach. That is amazing. I haven't heard that before.
It is systemic. It ties them together so that they're able to, address those emotions out, because if not, it will transition into something else. And so this ties into both, and you're all about giving resources, and this is a resource that you can give so that they're able to project themselves out into the community and be a part of it.
Continuity too. Being able to make that connection and having it in such a way that they can transcend over. It translates beyond just the family unit.
But what about programs out there, Ms. Lynette? I mean, do we have many in the area that serve our special needs populations?
Not that I am biased, but Days On is a bit different from everything else that's out there. I've learned a lot just in the short while that I've been here too. I did not know the term warehousing until I got here, and it really captivated me to think that once an individual ages out, what is it, age 22? Is
22.
It? Okay, and that's here in the state of Texas, or that cross board?
I've been with my child from all the way from, I had him in Germany, Korea, and here in the States. And 22 is the
22 is the number. And it was interesting to me that if family members don't know or they're unaware of capping out at age 22 with a special needs individual, that they have to be very careful as to where they go from there, especially if they've been met, their needs have been met by socialization, being able to perform certain skills, but like anything else, if those skills aren't nurtured continuously, they lose that, and they kind of regress, if you will. And Days On is a place where I've seen that nurturing continues on. It's meeting the individual where he or she is, and to keep that going and make improvements where you can, to be realistic about it. Make improvements where you can, and being, accepting and grateful for what it is that you are able to achieve, or they are able to achieve. Because the numbers suggest in some areas that the things that we see, they're unachievable, but not everything in that population is unachievable. It depends, I think, on the environment and the folks who are willing to put in the heart and the effort.
And the acceptance, you said the key word right there is acceptance, and a lot of that ties into their caregiver or their parent and the acceptance level. When your child gets to the point of high school, they, depending on their developmental level, they learn social skills and they learn life skills. It transitions from academic to life skills and social skills, and that's where the parent is hopefully informed that at that point, from 9th grade on until the age of 21, where that is the max 21, that from there it's up to them to transition on with the life skills and the social skills and the acceptance level. Once you accept the level that your child is able to function out in society, you can start to work on it and build from, once again, what I've been taught, that foundation. Once you have that foundation and you're able to set the boundaries of from what you're able to accept as a parent or a caregiver,
Mhm.
you can then move on and aid that child.
Absolutely. And I think with any parent, regardless of, a child's capabilities, the ultimate goal is for them to live independently. Hence, they're all grown up, but we do have instances where, especially with this particular population, independent living is not in the cards for them. And I think that's huge for parents to try to come to terms with and accept. And that's a big one. I think that's huge. It plays, quite a bit on the heart and the mind. And I would also think on the parent to think, what could I have done better, when the honest answer is nothing.
Nothing.
At this time, Chaz and Michelle Moore and Kathy Klingler are running a parent support group, a caregiver support group. And it's for caregivers and or parents of special needs, children, adults.
Yes.
It meets, I think, every Thursday. At what time?
At 2:30.
And it's from 2:30 to 3:30?
Yes.
If you know someone who could benefit from this support group, information group, sometimes it's just wonderful to hear somebody else in your situation and how they handled a particular difficulty. The group has been a long time coming, and the people in the group and the people leading the group are all parents and caregivers of special need family members. Or the special needs member themselves, as in Michelle's case with her diabetes. So we urge you to spread that information around. There is a place for our population, for our kids. And they don't have to be those kids to sit in the room at the house, the back room, watching TV every day.
Yes.
At Dayzona, I don't even think they have TVs.
No, we do not.
And they don't do movies. What they do is they play music, they do musical chairs, they do PE, they do cooking.
Computer skills are taught too.
Computer skills. If you have not had a chance to check out Dayzona, you owe it to yourself to go and call these people, Dayzona Life and Learning Center. And what is your telephone number?
Oh, I always forget. I have to cheat.
If you call 254-519-1144, Counseling Solutions, we can give you their number, and you can call them, make an appointment, and go and look at this amazing place. They have a building that's about 4,800 square feet.
Yes.
They have a house attached to that building that's also part of it. We have acreage out here. They have gardens.
Horses.
We now have horses.
And a petting zoo with miniature horses and goats, baby goats.
And the students are learning so much about life and process. Last year was the big garden thing. And they had a tomato plant out there at Dayzona that regularly put on 50 tomatoes. I kid you not. I don't know what they used to feed that thing, but it was like that thing on Little Shop of Horrors, and feed me.
Yeah, Seymour
more.
just kept up.
Oh, but come on.
Yes.
Oh my heavens. And that thing put out tomatoes through the first frost.
Yes.
I remember my son who goes out there, he and I, after school one day, it was on a Friday, and we had bags, and we went out there picking those green tomatoes because there was going to be a hard freeze. There had already been a freeze, but there's going to be a hard freeze. And we were out there picking tomatoes, and he got tired, and he just sat down, and I kept on and kept on. We got him home, and he counted them for me. There were over 50 tomatoes. Every one of them ripened. We set them out on the newspaper. And so Dayzona always has things going on. And in April and October every year, you guys have big garage sale that's out on 195. It's in the parking lot of 195 Lumber, I believe.
Yes, it is.
And you have vendors. We usually have some kind of people cooking out there. We have therapists and interns and social workers and parents and kids all work in the garage sale. And it's on a Saturday, and
It's a fun day.
it is. It's a tired day.
Yes.
It's exhausting, but everybody's there trying to help out, and of course the proceeds, it goes to enlarge or enhance their y'all's computer lab, the cooking lab out at Dayzona. It can add. They want a greenhouse, and so we have plans for a hoop house. And so, I mean, it just goes on and on. It's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place. And, you know, with Chaz here and Chaz being there and Miss Lynette being here and there, because, you know, Miss Lynette does everything here at Counseling Solutions and at Dayzona. Then there's Miss Jackie down there who's a workaholic. And, I mean, even how old is Celeste? 4. Even her 4-year-old has to work.
Yeah.
Child labor laws, people.
She's our project manager when we make soap.
Yes, there is a line of soap named after Celeste. So that's a whole different video. I mean, she is all that. So we also have Laura Taff here, and Laura Taff is an LPC who has taught and worked with the Nurturing Parent Program up where was she from? Amarillo? Abilene? Something like that. She's from up there, and she works with special needs as well. And she works with the kiddos, and she said that she works more with the parents. And Chaz would work more with the individuals. And when you put that in context, I mean, that's the whole meal deal.
It is.
So there is no need to have a special needs child, a special needs adult, and have them sitting at your house when they could be here getting some help to grow. The one other thing I do want to add in that Miss Lynette was way too humble to bring up is Dayzona has been keeping data for the last 4 years, 5 years that y'all been open.
Yeah.
And what they have shown through independent data collection, that plateau, the developmental IQ plateau that we were all taught in college, that special needs, mentally disabled individuals are going to reach a plateau. And that's the best you can expect, and that's what you go from there. Dayzona has blown the top off of that hypothesis, and I think it was even considered a theory. Their research shows that's not true. It shows that when presented with continual and consistent information influx, that the processing grows for the individual, new words, new vocab, new thinking strategies, new behaviors. All of these things are occurring in people who are 40 years old, 45 years old. And just once again, as a side note, if you want to know details on that, you can call me because I'm privy to that data, and I'm privy to a child who's been at Dayzona since the day it opened. And his functioning and his interpersonal skills, his knowledge, his vocabulary has extended so far since then. And we always have worked with him at home, always. But it's not enough. What Chaz is saying is we need the community involved. We need a wider spectrum of assistance for this population.
Yes.
And it's here. So if you guys have any questions, please give us a call. We plan on hanging on to Chaz for some time now. And Miss Lynette, you know, we lock her in the back closet. We never let her go home. Miss Lynette does 47 jobs here. And so, you know, we keep changes of clothing back there. So they'll be here for a while. If we can help you guys in any way, please call Counseling Solutions. We are a partner of Dayzona Life and Learning Center.
Right on the same property.
What, 20 feet apart?
Yeah.
And Dayzona has a webpage. Dayzona has a Facebook page. Please look it up. We have them too. Any last words that you might like this is it, your last words. Anything you would like to tell the people for them to hang on to?
Just that I'm here for you. I have obviously a very good support system, and I am here for you and your family and your child, your adolescent, to grow and learn with.
Chaz is in the intern clinic. She is licensed. She has her provisional license. She is state recognized. She's passed her test. She has her number. Her license number makes us legal in the state.
Street legal, yeah.
Street legal. And she, right now, Chaz does work on a sliding scale, and that's based on your income. So if you don't have employment, if you have trouble staying, feeding, whatever, you can still get the help you need, and so can your kids.
The resources available.
We have resources. Nobody leaves here without help.
Yes.
So, Miss Lynette?
With no further ado, until next video, it's been good seeing you. Have a good weekend.
Bye, guys. Take
Bye.
care.